Where the journey began. Why does it matter? Could I really create a new approach? Would clients value personal storytelling over flashy trends? Every challenge taught me how to deliver a lasting impact. Hello, and welcome to the Brand Therapist Podcast. This is your host, Yamilka Rodriguez, and I'm super excited about what we're going to talk about today. We are going to take another look at the hero's journey, but we're going to craft our why through the hero's journey instead of crafting our brand story. Our why can be part of our brand story, but a lot of people have a hard time crafting their why. And the why should be humanized and make it more relatable. And using the hero's journey to tell a story about your why is incredibly valuable. Yes, you can share this why across social media, your website, but also it's about you internalizing your why so you understand your story. And what I'm really excited about is I'm going to share an example. So it's not just about how you follow the process, but examples on how you actually achieve the process, and a story that I'm going to be able to tell you about bespoke branding. So as you all know, I own an agency as well, and it's called Bespoke Branding, and it's all about crafting strategies and stories using psychology. And psychology is the basis of our methodology. And that methodology is really unbreakable because we're all humans and we can't break anything that is humanizing like psychology. It also uses a bit of neuroscience. And so really thinking about crafting a message that is compelling and attracted to your ideal client, what I call the super fan, is really critical. So this is something that I haven't seen anybody use in this particular way, but I think it's really amazing at how it actually crafts the true story. So let's get started. I'm using the hero's journey, but I'm only using 5 of the steps to really craft the why. Okay. The first 3 are really critical. I think it's really important to kind of get those down. And then I took one from the middle and I took one from almost the end so we can then craft a full story. So it's ordinary world, call to adventure, refusal to the call, trials and tribulations, and the reward. Why did I use it this way? Because when we set the ordinary world up, and then we say, what is the call? What is the need? What took us to do what we're doing? And then we go, why? What holds us back? What's the refusal to that? Why haven't we put in our full self into this? And then talk about the tests and trials and round it out with the reward is the real essence to crafting a meaningful story that you can tell over and over again about your why. Okay, so let's start with the ordinary world. So this is the starting point where everything is expected, but not necessarily fulfilling, right? Everybody started their business. Maybe you started in something you were an expert at, but or maybe you were working in corporate world, right? And it wasn't fulfilling you and you were kind of stuck in that job. It actually describes your life or business before embarking on the true journey. Okay. So that's really how we talk about the ordinary world. Where did we get started? Where did it all kind of start to come alive? Why it matters. It helps your audience relate by showing where the journey began often mirroring their current experience. So, the reason why this is important is you have to make your brand relatable. And using an example of real life, maybe other people are going through something similar. It helps them connect, or they know somebody who went through something similar. It helps them connect to you and who you are. So let me give you an example. I was a brand builder at Procter & Gamble, living the dream on paper and working with brilliant minds. But something felt missing. I saw the limitations and in the corporate branding, everything was mass produced and authentic personal stories got lost in the shuffle. Okay, so that really happened. Yes, I loved working. I always tell people like it was like getting a PhD in everything branding and finance and ops and everything, and getting to travel and getting to meet people. But it was fulfilling, but it was like a checkbox, right? Okay, I've accomplished this, I've accomplished that. I got to work with incredible, intelligent people, but something was missing, right? I saw the limitations of corporate branding, right? I saw the limitations that had, and that's where I wasn't fulfilling my dream. Okay, let's go. So that's setting the stage, what was happening. Number 2, call to adventure. The call to adventure is really the need. What was the need? And we use that in problem solving as well, right? The who, the need. So is the what. So what is it? This moment sparks the need for change. Yes, it kind of, something's telling you something's got to change, something's got to move. There's an external or internal force pushing you towards something new. So understanding that, is it coming within you or is it coming from outside of you for you to change? So what is that need that presents itself? It really conveys the need or the gap your business solves and triggers the empathy by framing the challenge, right? So now we're going into framing what the challenge is, right? This is the call to adventure. Let me give you an example. I started to notice a shift. Brands needed more than just a logo or a campaign. They needed authenticity. Entrepreneurs and female leaders wanted to connect deeply with their audience, but didn't know how to tell their unique story. That was the need. I felt like there were these amazing entrepreneurs and they weren't reaching their potential. Their things didn't look professional. There were gaps in their business. And this was a way for me to give back and really connect to those leaders that were trying to do amazing things, but there were gaps in what they were doing. Okay. That could kind of be your why, but we're going to go deeper than that. So that's number 2. All right. So number 3, refusal to the call. So this is all about what holds you back. What holds you back when you're in your business? What is not letting you move forward? So the what is it is this is the hesitation, the fear, the obstacles preventing you from answering the call. And if you watch any movie, you are always going to see, they set them up, they set the stage in the ordinary world, then they get a call to do something. And then the refusal, they refuse it. No, I'm not doing it. No way, right? So what was your refusal? Why does it matter? It makes your journey more compelling by showing you overcame obstacles in this particular process, right? So you're humanizing it. You're acknowledging the challenges that you had or that you faced to move forward. Okay, these aren't external challenges. These are internal challenges. right? What are you struggling with? What is happening, or what is your business struggling with? So let me give you an example. For a while, I doubted whether I could leave the stability of the corporate job, of the corporate world. I questioned whether personal branding would resonate, especially when so many brands focused on fast, flashy marketing trends. Okay. I saw a gap. As you guys know, in Procter & Gamble, I did products. And I felt like there was something missing in the market, which was specifically talking about you and your personal brand. So, and I weave that in with your particular business because it's important to weave both of those things in. But I see a lot of people that separate it. They separate their personal brand from their professional brand. And if you're the owner of the business, there should be no separation. Okay. So remember, the other thing is that people want to go straight into logo. And logo is definition of who you are. If we don't understand your brand character and what your brand's about and your values and who you are, we can't design, because what'll happen is you'll get something superficial, something that isn't meaningful. And so for me, if you just wanted a logo, you could just go on Fiverr and get somebody to do that. But if you wanted an entire 360 brand that was, the foundation was the five senses, then that was me, right? We could get straight into the psychology of branding and understand the true meaning of your brand. And from there, everything flourishes. Everything comes out. Everything is born and birthed through that lens. So what is number 4? Let's go into number 4. Trials and tribulations. We really want to give people the understanding of what challenges we saw along the way. What are the things we struggled with, right? That makes us vulnerable and really helps people connect to you. And that is why psychology is so critical as you think about branding, because it's about connecting, right? It's about humanizing. So what is it? The difficult phase where you faced obstacles, learned new skills, and grew. Why does it matter? This is the heart of the journey. Your audience wants to know how you persevered through difficulties. They really do. They want to know what you did. I just saw somebody post their story about where they started and what they did and where they struggled and how they overcame these obstacles. And now they're an incredible billion-dollar brand, right? So why don't you tell your struggles and what you accomplished? Because then people can connect to you, and they won't buy from you if they don't feel that connection at that level. So let me give you the example. Building bespoke branding wasn't easy. Convincing clients that their stories mattered more than just numbers was a battle. I had to navigate tight budgets, evolve strategies, and sometimes I doubted my expertise. I did. I went through a lot of doubt because I was doing this practically for free at the time. And I was like, I don't know if this is valuable to people, and a lot of that comes from not trusting yourself to do things. And I learned over time that I did give value, that what I knew from all my years, all my expertise, all my reading, all my studies was valuable to help somebody else grow in their expertise. And so sometimes we don't believe that that's true, and we go through these challenges. But it's important to voice them and talk about them so people know that you're human and that you make mistakes as well. Okay, the last one, the reward. Yes, the reward. The reward is all about the transformation that you had when you got to the point of your business being successful. So what is it? This is where you experience success, both internal, personal growth, and external business milestones, right? So we're combining your personal with your business. That is what personal branding is all about, starting to humanize the business. Why does it matter? It wraps up your brand story by showing the value and impact of your decision to pursue this path. It should also hint at your ongoing mission to serve others. The reward is not the final point, right? But the reward has given you something to move forward with. It has given you something to have an impact in how you serve other people, which is your true why, is your true reward. So let me give you an example of that. Now Bespoke Branding Agency helps entrepreneurs and female leaders elevate their brand through personal storytelling, creating meaningful connections with their audience, watching clients thrive and grow their business by embracing their authentic selves is the most fulfilling reward. And this is just the beginning. ... So now you start to see how this all comes together. Okay, so let's review and understand where we were and how it all fits together. So I'm going to tell you the entire story. I'm going to read it to you. But before, what did we start with? The ordinary world. Yes. What world were you living in that moment when you decided that you were going to do more? The call to adventure. So what is the what, the need that you felt that you needed to do? The refusal to the call. What were the obstacles and the challenges that you faced that was holding you back? What was really holding you back from fulfilling your destiny? Trials and tribulations. What were the challenges? What were the obstacles you faced as you moved and decided to take action on that call? And the last, what is the reward? What was the most rewarding thing that you got from everything that you've accomplished till now? So now I'm going to read the story, but I wanted you to know that the why is the center of where everything starts, right? Simon Sinek talks about the why and why the why should be at the center of telling your story. I believe that it's critical to be able to tell a story about your why so people can integrate, humanize, relate to who you are and why you got or how you got to where you are. So let's start. After spending years building brands at Procter & Gamble, I knew the traditional model wasn't enough. Something deeper was missing. I saw female leaders struggling to connect with their audience in an authentic way. They needed more than just design. They needed personal stories that reflected who they were. For a while, I hesitated. Leaving the security of a corporate job felt daunting. Could I really create a new approach? Would clients value personal storytelling over flashy trends? But deep down, I knew I had to answer the call. The journey wasn't smooth. It took trial and error and learning actually to trust my own instincts and building relationships with clients who believed in my vision. There were moments of doubt, but every challenge taught me how to deliver a lasting impact. Today, Bespoke Branding Agency empowers entrepreneurs and female leaders to build a meaningful connection through storytelling by helping them uncover the power of their personal brand. We've unlocked doors and new opportunities. And for me, this is the beginning to the adventure, the end. Okay, so super fun, super short. As you start to understand or see that the structure narrative gives your brand story a deep resonance. It communicates your why behind the brand and builds an emotional connection with your audience. So, what would be really cool is to now take this and put it into scenes, just like we would a story, and start telling that story in video format like a movie. And that's how we start creating a true connection to resonating with our audience. So I hope that this was helpful. And if you email me at yamoka@bespokebranding.io, I will send you this formatted in a PDF. But you have to email me and I will send it to you, or send it to admin@bespokebranding.io. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. And I hope to see your stories and hear about your why and why you started your business. I'm super excited. So thank you so much for joining the Brand Therapist podcast. And I see you on the next show.